Hello, everyone. It's a big pleasure to be here. So today we are going to be talking about brand your way to the top, the power of personal branding on your career ladder. So that's me, Carol Gaffney. I am Brazilian. Any Brazilians in the room? Yeah. So I'm Brazilian. I'm here for 16 years, I think, since 2008. So it's a long time. It feels like forever. And I'm sure we can relate a lot with our path because I'm here since 2008. I came with a I thought I had a very advanced English, but when I got here, I'm like, what are they talking about? I can't understand them. And so I started my career here. Anyway, I did lots of different things, and then as a waitress, as a business manager, as a receptionist. And my last few jobs was as a business manager, as a brand manager. I now own my company, Gaffney Studio. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So I'm a brand positioning mentor. So I mentor people, I mentor companies to position their brand, to position their personal brand, their corporate brand. And I have a company with my handsome husband. He's photographing me here today. We have a company called Gaffney Studio. I'm going to talk a little bit about Gaffney Studio in a moment. So Gaffney Studio is it's a brand photography company. We photograph personal brands. We photograph employer branding. If you ever been part of any employer branding photo shoots in your company, we do team headshots as well. And we are on a mission to empower personal brands or corporate brands to unleash their most successful version of themselves and achieve the success they deserve. Because we really believe that we all have a very successful version of ourselves inside us. And we always have to work towards that version of ourselves. So my most successful self-image would wear a pink power suit and high heels and red nails, right? So I'm trying to be as close as possible to my most successful self-image. Whatever success looks like for you, we're going to talk a little bit about it. But I would really encourage you to really look to portray your most successful self-image as much as possible daily. That's our Instagram. So if you make any stories, if you want to talk with me, send me a DM, make sure to tag me so we can keep this conversation going. And I want to start today by taking a little a trip down to the memory lane. That's my godmother. She was, she still is, an amazing person and a powerhouse in my life. And she was the first reference that I had about personal branding. I did not know back then, when I was very small, the power of a personal brand, but I could feel her power, her personal power. Whenever she walked into any room, everybody was talking amazing things about her. When after she left, everybody was saying amazing things about her. And she came from a very poor family. They were living in one-bedroom house, 6 kids, or maybe 7, I don't know. Lots of kids anyway. And she owns her school now. And when she was at that age, when I was small, that was in her school. And she owns her own school. And she was always walking into any room full of jewelry. She's always aware of the way she dressed, she walks, she talks, because she wants to impress, and she's always charismatic. She's always so powerful that she was the first person, the first touch point that I had with the power of a personal brand. And personal brand in executive leadership, in your case, as employees, as professionals. So today we're going to talk. The talk today will be about the power of personal branding for professionals. Learning how to build a brand identity that captures attention, earns respect, and establishes leadership authority. So take control of your narrative, your personal narrative, fostering meaningful relationships in your professional network. So everything communicates. The way you present yourself, the way you talk, the way your attitude towards life towards your colleagues, everything communicates. And the way you communicate that's going to bring you up in your career. In today's topic, we're going to be talking about 3 topics: brand authority, intentional image, and brand visibility. So first, I want to introduce you to my client, Ruth, our client, Ruth. That was before she worked with us, right? So she used to dress like that. She used to wear boots like this, the jewelry like that. So just picture this image now, and we're going to talk about her transformation at the end of this talk. And brand definition, what brand is? A brand is a person's gut feeling about a product, service, or company. It's not what you say it is, but what they say it is. That comes from Mark Newmar, the author of The Brand Gap. I love this definition because in personal brand, what is brand? What is your personal brand? It's not what you say you are. It's not what you claim to be, but what people think about you, what people say about you, what you're not in the room. When you're in a meeting, in a work meeting, what people talk about you, what people say about you after you leave. In an interview, what the interviewer is going to be talking about you, what they're going to be saying about you after you leave the room. So that's your brand. Branding, on the other hand, if brand is a person's gut feeling about a service, a product, a person, branding is a way of you to control that gut feeling people have about you, to control that narrative. Of course, you cannot control 100%, but you can have a little bit, you can be mindful about it, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So brand authority. What's brand authority? Brand authority is the reputation and credibility your personal brand, each of us, we have a personal brand, right? So your personal brand holds. This authority is what makes certain leaders stand out, earn loyalty, and command respect, and move up in a career ladder and salary ladder. So do you know any leader in your company, have ever met someone that whenever they walk into the room, you see their authority, whatever it is? Like I remember one of the, how can I say, behavior they have, that you can see there is an authority there. There is an authority in what they do. There is an authority in their profession, so in their position. So I remember I used to be an executive before I owned my own company. And then there was one big one. I used to work in a multinational, and there was one leader. He was so empathetic. And the way I remember one of my colleagues, he was going through a very difficult moment in his life, in his professional life especially, and he was very frustrated, and we were leaving a meeting, the room was full of people, and this leader came to my colleague and said, let's sit down here, and he asked my colleague to sit on the ground with him, and he was so empathetic, the way he was. I was watching from far away because that was a very dear friend of mine, so I was a bit worried about him. So I was watching from far away, and I could see the leader really empathetic, looking into my friend's eyes and talking with him and calming him down. So that's a brand authority. However, you need to express yourself. His own personality was very empathetic and very charismatic, so he was expressing that way. Maybe I would do in a different way. But that is part of your brand authority, the way you behave, right, in a professional setting. Know your core values. When you recognize and consistently uphold your core values in every professional engagement, you not only build, but also reinforce your brand authority. I'm going to talk a little bit about my own experience. One of my personal core values is straight talk. And I never thought that I would be able to use that as a core value. Because I was always a straight talker. Since I was very little, I was very small, my parents were like, my parents were suppressing their core value of mine. So they were like, you cannot talk like that. You cannot say things. Of course, I didn't have the tools to do that properly. And throughout my whole life, I was trying to suppress that core value, straight talk. So, of course, I developed my career very well in Ireland. I was earning a very good salary. I was a business manager, a brand manager, and I was suppressing that value. And that was making me sick and turn out as a burnout after, because I was trying to suppress it. And I remember working with a personal stylist. Do you know those personal stylists that help you to dress and to find your own style? And she went through my wardrobe and she said, Carol, based on my study, based on my analysis, your style is classic. You need to wear structure clothes. You need to wear solid colors. Your wardrobe is full of flowers and lace. What's going on? And I said, well, and then after, of course, reflecting, I said to her, I think I'm trying to suppress my own personality, trying to be cute, trying to be soft, trying to be romantic, with flowers, with lace, with dresses, and that was not who I was. So that gave me a burnout. So after that, I changed the whole way I dress. I was much more of a straight talker. I was much more confident on my own skin and very assertive. So that's really important. Know your core values. Before you go to any interview, know your core values. If one of your core values is sustainability and you have interview with a company that does not value sustainability, that's not going to be great for you, for your own well-being. So know your core values is really important. And mindset and brand authority. So visionary thinking, set ambitious goals and innovative, envisioning future success and path to achieve them. As I said, you need to envision your most successful self-image. How your most successful self-image would, in a perfect day, where would your most successful self-image wake up? How is the house? What would you do during the day? Would you own your own business? Would you work for someone? Which position would you hold? So think about that. Have the vision of your most successful self-image. Be ambitious about it. Is that being walking your dog in the park in the middle of the week? What does success mean to you? Have the vision about it. Resilience and adaptability. Cultivate the resilience to navigate setbacks and adapt to change the business landscape and agility. So throughout your career, I'm sure most of you went through different positions, so you know there is a lot of resilience and a lot of adaptability that you need to build up to have the right mindset to have the right brand authority, right? Continuous learning. Commit to lifelong learning, seeking new knowledge, skills, and experience, and stay ahead in a rapidly evolving business environment. So I'm not talking only about course that you do in college and you put on your CV. I'm talking about reading books. Mentorship is so important. I remember when I was an executive, my first mentorship was a career mentorship. And she absolutely changed my life. I was able to get very well-paid jobs after this career leadership. So invest in leadership, in career mentorship. So invest in mentorships. After that, I invested in mindset mentorship and after business mentorship and so on. So always learn, always keep learning. Set boundaries. When we fail to set boundaries and hold people accountable, we feel used and mistreated. That's a quote from Brené Brown, the author of Dare to Lead. I really recommend all of you to get this book, Dare to Lead. It's a powerful tool and helped me a lot when I was an employee. So she's saying here that it's your responsibility to keep your boundaries. Any interaction, if someone is not nice to you, if they not respect you, that's a dance also. So I know it's hard to hear that, but think about where did you fail to set those boundaries. There is a way, and in this book she talks a lot about it, a lot of different ways for you to set boundaries in a very, very respectful and professional way. So think about that and be very powerful about your boundaries. Have strong boundaries. And intentional image, that's my favorite topic, as you can imagine. So Your personal image is one of the most powerful tools for telling your story without you having to say a single word. Remember my godmother, I was mentioning she was always well-dressed, she was always wearing jewelry. That was her way to communicate her personal brand. For some people, that we're gonna give examples here, how you communicate your personality. If you are dressing in a funky way, maybe you are communicating a creative person. If you are dressing jeans and runners, maybe you're communicating a very minimalist. However you dress, that communicates a little bit about you, because everything is visual codes. So the way I'm dressing today, my nails, my jewelry, the color I'm wearing, my shoes, my makeup, everything is sending signals to your subconscious mind. So you are making judgments, even for good or for bad. Like everyone makes judgments all the time. We are human beings. We are making judgments about each other, the way we look at them. So people make judgments about you when they look at you, right? And you want them to make the right judgment about you. So that's how important it is for you to be mindful about the way you dress, about your image. Why just be yourself might not be the best advice for your personal brand. For me, my most authentic person, my most authentic version of myself, is I love wearing pajamas. I love being my hair all messy, no makeup, right? Comfortable in my house. That's the way I love to spend my day. But of course, I have to be presentable, right? I have to be presentable in a Zoom call. I have to be presentable for my husband, for my friends, for my neighbors, when I go to the shop, because I don't want people to see me wearing my pajamas all day. So authenticity, lots of people say, be authentic, be authentic, be authentic. I think authenticity is when you can close the gap between when you are very authentic, as myself, wearing pajamas, right? Being very authentic as you are in your house and nobody's looking at you, nobody's with you. And close the gap of how you would like people to see you. That's where authenticity is. And that's a very, you need to be very careful with that. So the power of self-image. How would your most successful self-image dress, walk, and talk? Do you have that image in your mind? If you don't, I would love you to walk out of this talk thinking about that. How would your most successful self-image dress, walk, and talk? And be as close as possible to that version of yourself. More you are, we've seen that day in, day out in our business as photographing people. When they dress as their most successful self-image, their confidence boosts. They are like very confident. They are very different in a way that they are very authentic, but also very mindful and they feel very powerful when they dress as their most successful self-image. So I would advise you to go to an interview, wear your best outfit. Why not? Wear your best outfits. Go to that interview full of power. Open their doors full of power. They are going to make a mistake if they don't hire you. But they need to see it's not enough to be good. You need to look good. It's not enough to be competent. You need to look competent. How would you look competent? Think about that. What does a success mean to you? For some people, success is dressing casual in jeans and runners, like this lady. And for some people, it would mean dressing sharp in a red suit. Both of those ladies, they have the power of having great salary. Why? Because they are very authentic to their true selves. They are very authentic with their values. That's their version of success. That's their most successful self-image. That's how the most successful self-image would dress. So regardless of course, you need to check the dressing code for your company, but be authentic and dress as your most successful self-image. People are going to feel that. And consistency in personal style. Consistency in your personal style reinforces your brand identity. As human beings, we naturally prefer what is predictable. So if you stick to a certain style, it becomes a part of your personal brand that people can easily recognize and trust. So for me, I'm always wearing classic outfits. For Steve Jobs, he was always wearing jeans, runners, and turtleneck, remember? So you would always feel comfortable with Steve Jobs because you knew what to expect from him. When he was walking up on the stage, you would knew what to expect from him. And Iris Apfel, sadly she passed away this year, and she's a designer, she was always dressing extravagant, always the way. You would not expect less from Iris Apfel. We knew what to expect from her. And us, as human beings, we were comfortable with that because we knew what to expect from her. Seth Godin, he's a marketing expert and author. He's always wearing colorful glasses. That is something that we expect from him. When he comes on stage, when you open a YouTube video that Seth Godin he's always like that. And Chris Do, he is a mentor for designers. He's always dressing like funky with his funky hat and so on. So that expresses his own personality. I love this quote from Coco Chanel. Dress shabbily and they remember the dress. Dress impeccable and they remember the woman, they remember the man, they remember you. So if any of those two people walked into this room now and you had no idea who they were, you would look at them, you would wonder, who are they? Who is this woman? Who is this man? I would love to know more about them, right? In your subconscious mind, your mind would be wondering, who are they? Because they're confident in their own self-image. They're confident in the way you dress. So that's what I invite you as professionals to dress as your most successful self-image, whatever it is, on a daily basis. Brand visibility. Brand visibility is our last topic of today. So boost professional presence for greater influence and opportunities. Use strategic networking and share insights online, especially on LinkedIn. And high brand visibility makes you recognized expert, aiding career and business growth. So boost brand visibility with events. So when you are in any event, make sure to demonstrate expertise. So if you are invited to a talk, make sure to demonstrate expertise. Choose wisely. Which event are you going to go to? Choose wisely. Engage post-event with people. Always network. And be photo-ready, because there will be definitely a photographer and maybe a videographer in the event. So be photo-ready. You want to have photos that you feel very proud of the photos, right? So be photo-ready all the time. And I just want to mention as well, as we are talking about events, company events, you need to be very careful, right? I see so many people like drinking like crazy, having a great time, and you need to be very wise and very careful in company events. You don't want to go crazy because people are watching you, people are judging you. So the power of professional photo. Those are 3 of our clients, and we designed the photo shoots based on their personality. And when employers go to your LinkedIn, which impression they're going to have when they look at your professional photo, when they look at your profile photo on LinkedIn? Is the photo professional? Or it's a DIY photo from your phone? How is the lighting? What that communicates? Remember, an image speaks 1,000 words. So when they see those photos, when they see your photo, which message are they going to get? Which impression are they going to get? Are you giving the right first impression? Profile photo. I put that on my Instagram, on the stories, and I asked, which brand strategist would you hire? That cute one wearing lace, trying to be cute, or that one is smiling but very ready for the job? You know, very powerful. So which one would you pick? Which one would you hire? So professional photo, profile photo, they need to give a first impression. They need to give a very good first impression to set the tone for professionalism and approachability. Remember that smile that I'm giving here? That shows that I'm approachable, but also that I am professional. Brand consistency, critical for reinforcing your personal brands across all platforms, so have similar style for all in all your platforms, and credibility and trust, enhance reliability and connection with your audience. Remember Ruth? Remember we were talking about her at the beginning of the talk? That's the way she used to dress before she worked with us, before we went very deep into her personal brand, personal style, personal personality. We work with brand archetypes. What's her true personality? We worked with her around that as well. So that's her now, after working with us. I asked Ruth, how would your most successful self-image dress? She said, a red power suit. And I said, okay, do you have a power suit? A red power suit? She was, no. I said, okay, so let's buy this red power suit because I want you to feel amazing for your photo shoot. So that's why I invite you today to be very conscious about your most successful self-image. So now I want to ask you all, are you ready to take control of your gut feeling your network has about you in a way that commands attention, earns respect, and establishes you as an authority in your field? Are you ready? Yeah, I hope you are. So let's keep in touch. Our website is gaffneystudio.com. Our Instagram is Gaffney Studio, as I mentioned before. And on LinkedIn, you can find me as Carol-Gaffney. Thank you so much, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Carol Gaffney from Gaffney Studios, everybody.